A BTech student often feels demotivated when it comes to project because they are doing the same old and common project which everybody else is doing. They don't show a lot of interest in doing project because there is nothing fresh to build, there is nothing new to build. If you want to build something new, something valuable, then in this video we are going to cover 3 separate resources which I can bet you which is very rarely used for project ideas, and these resources are applicable to all kind of branches and all kind of industries. Needless to say, a good project will add a lot of value to your resume, to your career and to your knowledge. So let's get started with my favorite resource, which is Startup Accelerator Directories. There are many startup accelerators such as Y Combinator, Mass Challenge, Techstars globally. What these startup accelerators do is like they choose startups and they will train them, groom them to grow faster. So all those startups of different regions, different country, different industry are listed in their startup accelerator directory, and these are like great source of project ideas. You will get all the industries like healthcare, IT, energy, aviation, consumer, drones and whatnot for many countries. So we can choose last 2 years of a startup of whichever industry you are interested in, and we can see like what is the upcoming startups in those industry, and those are great ideas for your projects. So if you are frustrated for searching project ideas, looking here and there, then these resources are like very much useful. They are doable, and we already have a validation that because these companies are already running, they are already operating, and getting selected into these startup accelerator programs is not that easy. You can read about these startups, you can read about the founders, their success stories, their problem statement, not just to copy that idea, but to like open up your mind, open up your thought process. Maybe your city, your college, your state or country, like we have same kind of problem, and you know like something, a better way to solve that problem, or it can be something local way to solve it, or something a different way to solve it. For example, Flipkart, right? So Flipkart has introduced cash on delivery, which is like local to Indian market, right? A local solution to Indian market, and which has given them a big boost. Or it may be like, so you don't have to solve the problem end to end, right? You can solve one part of a bigger problem. On a side note, I just want to say that like these startup directories have hiring also going on, so you can filter them in case you want to work with them. Think about your last 1 year, like about your personal experience when you felt really bad, or something like you could have imagined that, okay, somebody should have built this so that you can use it, or something like what problem your industry or your state, your country or your college is facing. Take some time to think on these points and like get those problem statement which can be solved via your skills. And there are many examples like this. Like in 2008, if we take the Practo example, Practo founder Shashank Andy, like he's struggling to like get the documents for his father's surgery in an emergency situation, and realizing the problem that we don't have a solution for that, he launched Practo, and rest is like, I think it is now operating in 20 plus countries. In 2010, like the Ola founder Bhavish Agrawal didn't had a good experience with their taxi service, and he launched Ola Cabs to fill that cab, to make it more transparent and more accessible. So the point is like you don't have to search for idea. Every bad experience is an idea. Every problem you are facing is an idea. So you don't have to like search for it. So just look for what's missing in the world and build it. Of course, you need to do some level of validation that, okay, who needs it right now? Even if you build the most crappy version of it or most basic version of it, do we have users to use it? Take feedback of people, like who is going to be the beneficiary of those products, or is it going to make someone's life easy or not? And do some research, like are there any big players working on solving that problem or not? So it may not be like working on a new idea altogether. It can be solving a problem in a better way, in a new way also. Like for example, coming to our Ola example, like so taxi services are there in India, right? But they made it more accessible, more transparent. MTech students or PhD students or professors, they oftentimes work on upcoming things in their industry. They do continuous research. So they have those ideas like what is upcoming in that industry, and they often seek help of different people, students from BTech to implement those kind of idea, to validate those kind of idea, to build a prototype kind of thing. You can do projects with them, or you can get the idea from them and implement it by own. So personally, I have done 3 major projects during my BTech, and all came from the reference of professor, or I worked directly with professors. So one was at, I think, IIT Hyderabad, which is related to cryptography. Second one was like IIT Guwahati, which is related to Android, and third one is in my same college, which is related to decision making systems. And we also had a chance to work with one NIT Durgapur professor, like related to semantic web back in 2013 I am talking about. But we did not do that semantic web project because we had our final year project going on at my college. So point here is so have some good terms with your professors, your MTech students or your PhD students of your college, and they will guide you or mentor you for your project ideas. And if they do not have related to your industry, they can refer you also to a different student or to a different professor for project ideas. I got referred to different institutes that I told you, right? So in in this point at IIT Hyderabad and IIT Guwahati, that all these reference came from my professor only. And even if you know at some different college or some different institute, some professor is working on your interested industry or interested topic, so you can do a cold emailing also, and they may give you a project under them, or they can give you a project idea to implement for them. So these are 3 uncommon resources, unheard resources where you will get project ideas, which is something valuable, something new, something unique. So now let's talk about some tips we have to take care while doing projects. Tip number 1, don't jump directly implementing that idea. So you are going to invest lot of time, lot of energy in this project, and these projects are kind of long-term projects. Long-term project means long-term commitments. So sometimes the things will not go your way. It will be really frustrating. So make your why clear. So if your why is clear, you will be motivated. So do some research, validate that idea, take feedback from people. Think about who is going to use it, your first 100 and 500 users. Is it already solved by some big players or not? Research about it. Once you get all these validation about your idea, then only start implementing that project. And these tips, these points is also going to decide if you have more than one idea, right? Which one to choose. So you'll get more refined and more clarity on choosing that project. Tip number 2. So these resources many times lead to a company. So idea is worth of a company. So you don't have to solve end to end. Okay, you can take one part of a problem, of a particular problem statement, and just implement it. Or what you can do is you can do phase wise. So maybe in second year or third year you will build the phase 1, and in next year you are building the phase 2 part of it. Tip number 3, don't do solo projects. Okay, as I said, these are long-term projects, so have 2 to 4 members of team. So along with your technical skills, you will learn team skills. I hope these resources and tips is going to help you to find your next unique project ideas. Share with your friends or your project team to find them their next unique and valuable project idea. Thank you.